Welcome
We're
to
back.
the Friday.
Round two.
And we're better than ever, baby.
That's right. No jail can hold us, guys.
So there are probably people here wondering what the heck happened. Yeah, I ran an intro through the filters on YouTube, and it said it was good to go, and Disney caught up to it and struck the stream. I finished the 7-question. They made me do a 7-question training seminar, and I just multiple choiced my way through the questions and got rid of that. So.
Don't share stuff. That was the answer to all the questions. Don't share nothing.
Oh, where's the fun in that? That's all the good stuff. I just take the stuff on YouTube and I put it back on YouTube. But
well, you know what? Good artists share. Great artists steal.
That's right. That's right. So I had a great week, guys. The postman was very good to me. I got my ketchup shipment of King Cryptid by Pete Smetty. And when this thing first went out, I backed it digitally and read like the first 4 issues. And now that he's working on like the next 4, I think he's working on 9 through 13 right now. Like I got to get in floppy. I got to get caught up. So I already know that. I mean, it's a good series, but I'm really looking forward to reading these and getting that feel of that newsprint. And this is obviously a labor of love for Pete. And very happy for the success he's having, and hope we continue to get more of these things. And as always, I am hard at work on Jupiter issue 2. Day job has been crazy. It's been a very productive year at the day job, very rewarding. But it has meant I've neglected Jupiter a bit. But I am in every spare minute working on it. So I look forward to launching that campaign sometime this year. Craig, how was your week?
Yep. Good. All in all, I wasted a whole bunch of time making an intro trailer that got me a warning. But
but it was funny, and that stepmom joke, the stepmom joke is probably one of the best one-liners I've heard in a long time. So
the lesson here is that effort is inversely related to output.
Yes, this is true.
The less you try, the better you do.
That's right.
It's been my foundation of all my success.
I just need to learn to stay away from Disney and Comedy Central. There's a few out there that, like, you know what I mean, they pay their money to YouTube to have stuff ripped off. I gotta stay to the mid amateur rear tier creator stuff on YouTube. I think that stuff's pretty much safe. But for myself, for books that came in the mail, our sometimes co-host, I got I don't know if
they were good.
Very good.
This is the first part here, the Calling part 1 and 2, and I also got I love floppies. He was really smart to break him up this way.
Yeah, I think so.
Then the Offerings part 1 and 2. So I mean, I already read these in his first book because it's the same one. But I mean, I just wanted to grab all his floppies. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the reading finally the Bay Knights and continuing that story. So I'm really happy that arrived. That's the only new book I got. Other than I really want the snow to go away. I'm really sick and tired of it. It pretty much snows every day out here, and then it melts, and then it snows again. And we finally got an election date here in Canada.
Nice.
With all the insanity.
Nice.
So,
Tom, did you hear about this? His not only did they not vote for his prime minister, the guy wasn't even in parliament.
That's right. Oh, yes. He's
it seems like a prerequisite.
Yeah, you would think.
He's a globalist banker from Europe, so he's not even.
Oh, well, then he's grandfathered in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he hasn't lived here in 11 years, so. Yeah.
As the kids say, I think it's mighty sus.
Yes.
It is sus.
It is.
I thought it was fire, but it's mid.
Right.
You know.
It's really hard when you live in a country for almost 50 years and all the systems like your Charter of Rights and Freedoms and procedures, government procedures. You realize they're all just they're only exist and only mean something if the people in those positions actually apply that, and they can very easily tear it all down and destroy it.
But that's the negative side. The positive is you guys have that great poutine.
This is true. This is true.
You know, you can't get French fries and gravy like that down here.
Yeah. We've got our gravy and our maple syrup, yes. But
I've illegally entered your country to get French fries and gravy.
Did you? Would it be illegal though? Like,
the way I did it, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Do you have any books you want to share or anything for this week, Tom?
I haven't got anything in books wise. I will say, let me just comment on everything you guys showed. Love King Cryptid. I read the I think the first 6 issues in one fell swoop at one of our local carnivals. So like reading King Cryptid by the light of the Carney lights was pretty cool. Obviously, you got a backer in me for Jupiter 2.
Thank you.
I'm a big supporter of Jupiter 2. And Immortal Rising. I'm a backer of that too. So I think I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. I didn't get any this week, but last week I got my copy of Immortal 2. The only thing I've got this week, and I've got to pimp it out a little bit, is I got a big box of Duke Cannon soap. I got like 7 bars of Duke Cannon, so I'm looking forward to bathing myself again.
Nice. Very cool. Did you read Jupiter back in the day? Jason's original run on that?
I did not. I caught. I jumped on board. 3 years ago? I think it was when it was Indiegogo campaign, and I liked it so much that I went back and did get the original issues on eBay. Not all of them. I think how many were there total?
9.
I think I've got up through 6.
Mm-hmm.
They're highly sought after, Jason.
As like a stretch goal for the second campaign, the second book, I am going to do a print version of Jupiter 0, which is what I think are the best of those 9 issues, like the stuff that's not embarrassing for me to look at, and that is available on Comixology. It's called Jupiter 0, but I'm going to make a print version of that for people just so they don't have to get gouged on eBay.
I'm a big fan of Jupiter. It reminds me of the old Vertigo days. Reminds me of the pre-Vertigo days with Wasteland, Del Close's book.
Mm-hmm.
A big proponent. And I love Soul Tech. I'm not leaving you out, bub.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm working on issue 5, but I'm doing it slow this time.
I know what side my bread's buttered on. I could get kicked at any moment.
No. Right? Yeah, this show is crazy. But yeah, no, I'm taking my time. I don't know if I'm going to launch a campaign maybe later in this year for the next one. So we shall see.
Yeah, let the economy heal a little bit.
Yeah,
good point.
The trade relations simmer down a little bit, but
yeah, you not only have to charge shipping, you have to charge tariff.
Dude, you give me the print files. I print them in the United States. I work with I work with Critical Blast for international. I fulfill out of my studio here. We get around this tariff stuff.
Oh, Winston Wolf over here. He solves problems.
My comic book's like a car. I swear. No, it moves over to the States for editing and lettering, and then it moves back here, and then for printing, it goes down to Florida, and then Florida ships it up here, and then I turn around and ship it back to the States to everyone that backed it. So yeah, it moves more than an automobile does across the border, back and forth. Yeah.
That sounds exhausting.
It's part of the fun. But,
well, I think due to the show getting struck and having to restart it, there's people are still looking for the show, so there's nobody in the chat. Yeah. So, what's the first of our 3 big news topics for this week?
Yeah, Vulcan did check in with us on the one that got struck, and he mentioned he was in church. Oh, see, they put these new tabs in. I tell you, Jason. Hold on, I'll get this figured out here. Okay.
Everybody's complaining about these new tabs.
Yeah, they're right in the way of the present. This is really yay, StreamYard, one of those nights. Did you do that one on purpose there, Jason?
No, what are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah, that's Jason playing with it now. Look, both my hands are in here. That's all Jason. That's not
it's
me.
It's the biggest problem in the universe, Cam.
Yeah. Why would they do that? Okay, so yeah, I'm not the only one that's not happy with it. Okay, so our first of our 3 topics, we only have 14 in the chat, but like you said, Jason, hopefully people will find us after my recklessness. Associated Press, U.S. decision to limit Canadian access to border-straddling library prompts an outpouring of emotion. So this Stansted, Quebec. For more than 100 years, people in Stansted, Quebec have been allowed to walk into this Derby line into this library. Basically, there was no one supervising the border. You could freely access. The Canadians had to access from the American side to get into the library. and obviously with the increased tensions and security, they've said nope, no more. And they actually closed the Canadian access as well now. And anybody from the Canadian side wants to go to the library, they got to go through border security. So.
Well, now I have to say that begs the question. I mean, is going to Vermont considered going to America?
Right. This is the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So going back 100 years, that would cover some of the Prohibition time. So do you guys think there was some spirits that went through that library?
Oh, sure.
That's a good question. Yeah, like haunted by various ghosts.
No, I mean the rum.
Yeah, taking out books from Jack Daniels, taking out books from Jim Beam.
Yeah. So always freshest comments. Yeah, we'll throw those up. Let's actually talk about them too. So y'all on the run from the YouTube copyrights. So not yet. I haven't been copyright struck. I just received my first warning, and then I had to do my 7 questionnaire, which I did during this new intro. So far, no strikes yet.
You with that Disney clip was like Major Kong riding the bomb. You know,
I had to try it. Had to do it. And then this next one, they blew past the $100,000 fundraiser to build the second entrance. Yeah, so they're running a GoFundMe. The Canadian side's running a GoFundMe to pay to alter the library so that there is an entrance on the Canadian side. So now this building's they're gonna have to build a wall in the middle of the library.
This is like Checkpoint Charlie or something. Like this is getting wild.
Well, it's like that old joke about the plane crashes on the U.S.-Canadian border. Which country do you bury the survivors in?
Yeah.
So like this is like the library right on the border. Which side gets to borrow books?
Yeah, that's right. So Craig, if I check out a book and they say that you have to return it in 10 days in the United States, what is that in Canadian metric? How many days is that?
Right. You got about 2 weeks. You got about 15 or 16 days then, I think. That's the way that works.
Isn't 10 days a fortnight in Canadian terms?
Yeah, right. These jokes are over my head, I'm telling you, Tom. But
that poutine, boy, that poutine.
Well, it's just the craziest thing. Like when I was a kid, all you needed was not a teenager. All you needed was your driver's license to go back and forth across the Ambassador Bridge. And I grew up in Ontario. We used to do it all the time because you'd get 2 cases of smokes and a couple cartons of cigarettes for what 1 case of like 112 pack would cost on the Canadian side. So yeah, we'd do really
You're
well.
The guy who ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, right. Everyone was doing that. Everyone got their beer and their cigarettes from the States and brought them up. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that all the juvenile delinquents in Vermont, they tell their parents, "Don't worry about my curfew. I'm going to the library, Mom. I'm going to the library, Dad." And they said, "Okay, all right, we'll drive you there." And then they go through the secret hatch and they run wild in Canada. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I have to question the premise of your supposition when you said juvenile delinquents in Vermont, because there is no one in Vermont under the age of 70.
Okay.
Well, that's the other catcher too.
Back in the old days.
We had to have a friend that was 21 years of age because, in Canada, although you can buy that stuff at 19, you have to be 21 in the States, right? So, yeah. Good times. That's my youth. My youth in a nutshell. Pre 9/11.
Smuggling cigarettes across the border.
Yeah. Late books and international crime. Yeah.
Are there any books are there any books in Canada that you're not allowed to read?
No.
Like, do they do that up there?
No. I mean, we have the same sort of stuff where it's not allowed. Certain stuff's not allowed in the libraries or isn't in the education. Same thing that you have in the U.S., but there's no physical book that if you're caught in possession of it, that you're going to be thrown.
Is it like Footloose though? Or are you guys allowed to play music?
Yeah, still we're good there. We're not quite at UK levels of censorship, but we'll see. We'll see how this next election comes around if they don't try to bring that stuff here, which is scary. If you see what's happening in the UK, that's absolutely horrifying. That is not the direction for us, any country to go. They just arrested like the arrests that they're showing in the UK are getting more and more insane, like less and less grounded, and the judges are just, making a determination. I don't like what you said, and I think you need to spend 9 years in prison to think about it.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see. Sorry, this is getting kind of dark.
So who is the great Canadian author? Who is the great Canadian novelist?
Our most famous novelist?
Yeah, because I know you don't have a George Washington, but who's the Ernest Hemingway of Canada?
I'd like to throw Todd McFarlane out there for a save.
Oh yeah,
okay.
No, nice work. Yeah, good one.
Dale Keown as well. And there's
another famous Canadian.
Yep, but I would say like
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Margaret Atwood is about the only novelist I can think of that has any notoriety or fame.
Okay.
So, not a lot of novelists that I know of.
All right. Well,
Always Fresh said the same thing. I beat him to it. Margaret
Good whiskey,
Atwood.
though.
Yeah. Right there. That's about the only name that comes to mind.
Yeah. She's a fun writer.
Yeah.
Which one?
Margaret Atwood, romance novelist.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Even
she was the original. She was the original. Who wrote the guy spits in the girl's mouth books?
Guy spits in the.
It's the
Chuck Palahniuk?
No. It's the billionaire dates the 20-something.
Oh, the 50 Shades.
Yeah. She was original 50 Shades.
It is absolutely criminal that I could pick out 50 Shades from your description.
Yes, that was. Yeah, I was kind of thinking along those lines.
In the same way that they say hey, Miyagi have mother once too. Tuttle have wife and girlfriend once too.
Yeah.
I have a working knowledge of 50 Shades through osmosis.
Yeah.
I gave you just enough data points to triangulate a gestalt on that one.
Boy, they all get worked up after you take them to that movie, don't they? It's like doing calisthenics.
So have you watched all those movies, Jason?
I know I have not watched the 50 Shades movies, but I watched the Handmaid's Tale, the movie that was made in like the early 80s with Robert Duvall. Mm-hmm. I watched that as on a lark. And then I started to watch the Hulu Handmaid's Tale, but I was like, I'm like, this isn't realistic. I can't keep watching this.
Mm-hmm. I saw Bridges of Madison County in the theater. Let us never speak of it again.
Perfect. All right, Craig, speaking of never speaking of it again, what is topic number 2?
Yeah, so we'll see how all these border things work out. All right. So topic 2, we actually picked just for you, Tom.
Yes.
This one we pulled from Fox News. Figure you appreciate it because you're a coffee aficionado.
Very big in the news with the quartering and everything.
Yes, yeah. That just happened as well. Yeah. Business devastated. Coffee costs a content creator more than $340 made me feel overwhelmed. So, man,
as a guy who got in trouble earlier this week on Twitter for posting a picture of my ham and brie croissant with apricot preserves, and someone wanted to say, it's overpriced, and it's got 5,000 calories. Like 5,000 calories. It's a croissant. It's not 2 friggin' blooming onions sandwiched together. Right. So I am sympathetic, but I also have to know, where in the ordering process with your barista did the price just get away from you? I have a fair amount of control over what goes in my coffee. Mm-hmm. Even at the most hoity-toity barista, when they start bringing out the gold dust,
right?
That's when you say, "Hey, back off. I just wanted the macchiato."
So to Tom's point, did this guy know the price before he went all in? Pushes all his chips in?
Well, no. His claim is he was just visiting London and he went to the coffee shop and happened to see it on the menu, and then just on a whim decided, hey, I'm going to buy this extremely expensive coffee and see if this is worth it. And he turned it into content. Who would know that ordering a coffee off a menu would literally make Fox News? So,
I mean, I've made Twitter content off my coffee choices.
yes.
Oh yeah.
So I sympathize.
So what was
It don't cost me nothing though.
no?
Right.
What was the flavor? What was the vintage? Tell us about this. What made it $340?
Well, so he even describes it in the, and again, it's part of it's in the outro. Hopefully, they let me play my outro. God only knows what they'll do to that. But he said when he drank it, honestly, it didn't taste that different than his friend's $5 lattes that he gives him back home. He really said he couldn't tell. He said at first it tasted rather fruity, but after it started to sit, all the different ingredients started to separate, and then he basically was left him disappointed with the experience.
So it wasn't any one ingredient. It was just like really expensive coffee and milk.
Oh no, they use special coffee beans from Japan, and
That's what I'm saying. But it wasn't like gold dust or anything. It was just really expensive coffee.
Yeah, a lot of throwing a lot of words at you and making it seem like more of a big deal. I mean, come on, a $340 coffee. Like,
if I'm getting a $340 coffee and the coffee itself is the money, I would just drink it black. I mean, why on earth would you want to dilute? If you're paying $340, why do you want to dilute the taste?
Hey, right. I pay $340 for a cup of coffee. I'm going to hold my pee for an extra day. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not letting it go.
Like they say, you do just rent a macchiato.
So Tom, looking back over the past couple of months, what's been the most remarkable, memorable coffee that you've indulged with?
Well, I just today had a peep latte. It's a great day because my local shop changes their seasonal menu periodically. So today is where we went from the St. Patrick's Day offerings, which is all green mint stuff. And now we're in the spring, which is kind of a big, vast expanse on which to paint. So I had a peep latte today, which was just a latte, but with amaretto and vanilla. So it did kind of suggest that you were eating an Easter marshmallow peep. Nice. There was a hint. Of peep, a sucon of peep about the concoction.
Very nice.
Just a sucon.
Craig, are you a coffee guy? I don't know if I've ever seen you drink coffee.
I do go to Starbucks, but I always get a grande chai latte, hot.
Chai latte is good.
Yeah, I like that. That's just my thing. I know they got a whole menu of stuff you can get from Starbucks to explore that I have yet to discover. So,
and Starbucks isn't as regular as my coffee shop, but they do change up their seasonal outings from time to time. Yeah. Obviously, come September, it's going to be pumpkin spice everything.
Yes, so always fresh again with caramel macchiato today. Yeah, so I'm buying those a lot for my family. My wife and her sisters, and they all drink those caramel macchiatos. Maybe I'll try one of those. But yeah,
Crenshaw's in the chat. Good evening, sir.
Nice. Yes. Yeah, he was our guest last week. Yeah, that was an interesting show. We didn't get struck.
Did not get struck last week.
Yes. I didn't get struck. It's okay. I'm good. No strikes on this channel. Knock on wood. All right.
So Tom, in the afterglow of this guy's $340 coffee, where he realizes he feels empty inside and kind of hollowed out and kind of used, is this a leitmotif for Gen Z and social media influencers everywhere?
No.
Or what do you read into this?
Well, if he did it for the lulz and he got lulz, and I don't know what kind of a content creator he is, but if it was something where he could at least get recouped the 340, then I wouldn't feel that much regret about it. Because I've done a lot stupider things than that for the lulz, and I wasn't even a content creator. Like I think I said last time, I brought a Four Loko into the Texas School Book Depository.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
You know, so I mean,
and when the FBI dumped the 70,000 documents, I was going to have ChatGPT see if there's any mention of you in there.
that's right. Me and that one security guard who had no sense of humor at all about the assassination. Because he busted me for the Four Loko, and I literally said in high dudgeon, I said, "My good man, this is hardly the worst thing anyone's ever brought in this building." And he did not see the humor in it at all. I had to go sit on the freaking grassy knoll.
On the grassy knoll.
Floor, yeah.
Oh man. That's a story though, to say you got kicked out of the Texas depository.
There's more to the day than that too, because we went to Oswald's rooming house, and there was a gal there who was a little girl, the daughter of the landlord when he was a tenant. She remembered him as Mr. Lee because he went by the name O.H. Lee. And there is a photo out there, because I was all Four Locoed up, of me drunkenly giving the lady a kiss on the forehead. I don't know what I thought I was doing. And then we went to the Texas Theater, and me and the tour guide, Mary Kate, gave Oswald the finger. And then me and Billy Tucci reenacted the arrest. We took turns. We kind of toggled back and forth. I would play the arresting officer. He would play Oswald. He would play the arresting officer. I played Oswald.
That was in the theater, right? He got arrested?
Yeah, in the theater. There's a poster. The movie that was playing is War is Hell. And they have the poster in the manager's office signed by a bunch of different people, including the actor from the movie. And he wrote, "This was my first movie, Oswald's last." And then they even got Johnny Brewer, who is the shoe store owner, who called in. This guy looks creepy, and went up on the stage and pointed out Oswald to the officers. He signed the damn thing, and I came this close to getting a signature, getting an autograph from Johnny Brewer, because he was still up through 2014 doing signings through the mail. He would sign the police report for him.
Oh wow.
But I think he's probably passed since then.
Yeah.
So this YouTuber guy here, he spent $340 on the coffee. Tom, how much do you think he spent on that haircut?
2 bits, maybe. I mean, it came with a shave, 2 bits.
All right, Craig, what is topic number 3 tonight?
Crenshaw has a question for us. Sorry. He asked, did he say it was the best coffee ever? No, he actually said his friend makes a $4 latte that's just as good. So yeah, the moral story is don't waste $340 on a coffee.
He felt shallow, cheap, and used inside Crenshaw.
No. Always Fresh got another comment here. I'm sure some places we've had drinks at Cypress would sell you $300. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, you have got to come on the show. He has stories. In Cypress, I ended up, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I ended up drunk and I went looking for the mafia and I found them.
That's a story.
Yes. So yeah, no doubt. Well, I got charged a lot more than $340 for that one.
Well, this content creator, imagine how pissed off he was when he found out it was decaf.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
but this would be like, if we had the budget, we would have his clip or whatever, and then the camera would pan out, and we'd have the 1970s guys going, "Little does he know that we've exchanged his coffee with Folgers crystals."
I was just thinking the best part of waking up is taking out a bank loan to buy your coffee.
Well, I was even thinking, if the restaurant wasn't on up and up, what's to have them stop someone just going to Starbucks and grabbing one and dumping it in a cup and going, "Here's your $340 coffee, sir." But,
yeah. Well, you know, some people
refills.
Right.
Yeah. So people can chase that buzz. They can chase that buzz.
Chase that white dragon.
Shall we move?
White dragon being the latte.
What if he doesn't get addicted to the coffee, but he gets addicted to the humiliation of buying the coffee?
It's like a coffee version of Findom.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the kids call it? You give money to.
Yeah.
Well, So I'm kind of thinking the same thing. I mean, as a married man, I don't, but yeah, for $340, I could think of a lot more things you could get for your money than just one coffee. Yeah.
Like sex.
Yes. It's true. Should we move to our third and final story?
Yeah,
now
let's
that
check it out,
we
number three.
lost a half hour with my antics, and I will be
That's right.
careful with my intros going forward.
Yeah, you've learned your
That's
lesson.
what it is. Yeah, I did. I did my 7-question survey. YouTube. I've learned my lesson.
There's a theme to this evening.
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Always.
It's
Always.
Marion the Librarian evening.
Yeah. If you watch the show regularly, our thumbnails and our outros and then all our stuff, it all sort of, you got to watch the whole 90 minutes. It all comes together.
Like my old lit professor used to say, the syllabus hangs together.
That's right. So this one comes from United Press. A library book back in circulation after 98 years overdue. So this library in Ohio, the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library. I looked into it. This current iteration of the library was built in 1874. Wow. So roughly 50 years after the library was built, this Wild West book was checked out in 1926. Wow. And then it sat on someone's bookshelf. When that person deceased, I believe the children they found the book on the bookshelf. At 98 years old, they brought it back to the library. The library had to see if they even had records going back 98 years, but they did find it. They did find the family name that checked it out. But after the book went missing 98 years ago, they just bought a second copy. So now they have 2 copies of this Wild West book in circulation in their library. Because I looked right away, is this like a rare book? Is this something that someone's going to immediately check out and steal right away? But it isn't.
Well, with 2 copies, we could in good faith yoink one.
That's right. We could.
You know, it's like a kidney, you know. Right. You only need one.
They're still good to go, yeah. But that's.
So I'm impressed the bindings holding together after almost a century.
Yeah, that was another comment that was made. It was incredible. It was still in such good shape. But I imagine whoever checked it out, they probably just put it on the bookshelf and left it there.
Mm-hmm. So Tom, how would you feel if you were the author of that book and you found out that this book for 98 years was holding up the short leg of a table?
Well, I would say that it's I'd probably, just like the book with the table, I'd support that decision. Oh, come on. That was a good dad joke. That was a good dad joke.
It was very good. Oh, well, this is not the first time we've covered this particular topic, and it's a running theme. And I don't know if it's because we find procrastination and the shirking of responsibility funny on this show, but it's a recurring theme. So we've done a follow-up investigative report. Craig, can you cue that up?
Yeah.
All right. This is our investigative report on overdue books. All right, here we go. Let's bring up the first one. All right, Tom, this book was checked out in the early 70s. There was an attempted return about 5 years ago. Put yourself in the shoes of the librarian. Do you receive this book back into the shelves?
I would do it. I was thinking of the old stoner game, puff, puff, pass, or next time you get skipped. This would be ... dash, or next time you get skipped.
There you go. All right, nice. Craig, next.
I was just going to ask if Yoko Ono contributed anything to that book.
Yeah, that's right. Now, this is a vintage book from the 1920s. We believe it's from the 1920s. Tom, you're the librarian. Someone brings this in. Do you accept this back into the stacks, or do you deem this to be antiquated, or is it timely? What do you do with this book?
If rather than put it on the shelf, you burn this book, do you create like a causality loop?
Perhaps. Perhaps.
That's my first thought.
I want to get to the chapter where environmentalism matters unless we think the guy is Hitler. Then we can burn everything.
Right.
Hey, Tom, is that a white sheet? Is that book sitting on a white sheet?
It appears to be.
All right. Okay, Craig, next.
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
this
man.
one, I think there's a good excuse for losing track of this one. Invisibility for dummies. Tom, do you waive the late fee on this one?
I'll tell you, you guys can't show this because you've already had one bout with the copyright gods. But I'm going to tell you, when the show is over, go on YouTube and look up The Son of the Invisible Man. It's a little sketch with Ed Begley Jr. About the son of the Invisible Man. He's positive that he's inherited the secret to his father's formula, but he hasn't. So he thinks he's invisible, but he's not. So, like, he's walking around the local pub naked, moving everyone's checkers, and the town has already the town has seen him come in a million times. They're like, "Oh my, how did that happen? There must be a ghost in here."
We'll have to check
that skit was Invisibility for Dummies.
It's wild.
All right, Craig, what's next? All right, this one's from the late 60s. Tom, you're the librarian in modern day America. Do you accept this book back into the stacks when it comes back overdue?
It's a cookbook. To Serve Man is a cookbook.
Craig, what do you think? Do you thumb through this for some good recipes, or do you just say its time has passed?
No, I definitely cook with trans fats. That's the only way to go. So yeah, I'd be interested to see what kind of recipes they have in that book.
That's a very binary response, Craig.
Yes.
All right, what we got next?
Okay. Justin Belmont was joining us.
So Tom, this might just be right up your wheelhouse. It comes from a more simple time, a more rugged time. How to tell dirty jokes at work. Tom, you're the librarian. Do you check this book back in?
I would check it back in, but with a like a disclaimer that you can't go wrong with dad jokes. Nobody gets mad at you. You don't get fired. There's no problem with dad joke. That's why every guy our age, no matter how cool we were 10 years ago, it's like a gravitational pull. We're drawn to dad jokes because they make us feel safe.
It's true.
It's best way to disarm the ladies. Some dad jokes.
I bet Andrew Dice Clay is telling dad jokes now.
I think he is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up having people tell me all kinds of stuff that is actually offensive as a kid, and you don't know any better, and you go and tell these jokes to other kids, and they get really mad and punch you in the face. But I went from those levels to watching censorship come all the way to this is inappropriate, and having to learn that all these jokes and traditions and things that I loved in doing in the 20s, you get to where we are now, and like everything is considered inappropriate. But
well, comedy is by its nature transgressive. I mean,
yes.
it's supposed to
offend,
push right up to the edge of what is, almost offensive, or past offensive, and it's meant to make you examine what your limits are for basically how much can you take,
right?
And so, obviously, I getting away from the joke for a second to the ceiling. When you friggin' hobble comedy. When you put you put weight like Harrison Bergeron, you put weights around the ankles of comedy, then you've essentially transformed it from comedy to the approved message.
That's right.
Tom, in recent years, have you felt the impending shadow of the handicapper general?
Wait, say it again. I don't think I caught any of that.
In recent years, have you felt the looming shadow of the coming handicapper general?
Oh, yes, I have. Now I was like, what the heck is he talking? He's talking weird words. What's he saying? Yes, I have felt I felt the by the pricking of my thumb, something like what you suggested. This way comes.
All right, next one.
Yes.
All right, Tom, you're the librarian. Book. You get a weird sense about this book. Do you check it back into the library or not?
Like the guy with the table leg book, I take that to a cabin and attempt to decipher it. Because what's the worst that could happen?
That's true.
It's like the commercial. I usually wear a condom, but I thought to myself, when am I ever getting back to Haiti?
Yeah.
I would decipher it, and I would do it on a big reel tape recorder, so that even if I don't get through it, someone can come and take up my work
Years later
for posterity.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for playing along. Thank you for playing along. All right, let's bring up our guest's campaign.
Oh yes, please do.
Let's see where he's at here.
Okay, just give me a second. I'm dealing with all the.
It has been a lot of water over the dam since I was here on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I think
it's really been an amazing 2 weeks.
You're knocking it out of the park, buddy.
So I do have a trailer for this as well, Jason.
Yeah,
I didn't mention.
I want to see what the baseline is here. Where he's at 120 backers.
Yeah, 120.
Right.
All right, 120. I'm gonna do the jackknife. Jackknife is not with us anymore, so I'm gonna call it the baseline. Baseline 120 backers. I've got a timestamp on it there.
Yeah, that's impressive. Like, how long's your campaign been out so far?
2 weeks. 2 weeks tonight. I debuted it 2 weeks ago on the Friday night Fright show, and it's just been an amazing ride for the last 2 weeks. Everyone's been so nice. Everyone's, a lot of people have had me on their shows. It's been, very warm embrace from the community, and people are really buzzing about it. It's been incredibly gratifying.
Oh man!
All right, let's watch the trailer.
So we have 27 watching. Thank you so much for tuning into the Friday nights. We come to you every night.
The last time I was on this show, we didn't have this trailer yet, so this will be the Friday nights debut of Vaughn's trailer.
Yes,
he just killed it. He knocked it out of the park.
So here it is for everyone watching. The trailer for 7 Amens Before Sundown. That's a sweet trailer.
I told the man Grindhouse, and Von Klaus gave me Grindhouse.
With a Morricone soundtrack. That's amazing.
Very cool. And we didn't get struck for that either. So.
I don't think you can. Because I think
it's okay.
Yeah, we did something. I don't remember what we did.
Now, like I said, I usually run things through the YouTube. I'll upload the video and I'll see what YouTube says. If you just private it, they'll tell you. And when I ran it through, it said no restrictions. So
I once made an incredibly cool photo pictorial to air on my 99 subscriber YouTube channel. Yeah. And you wouldn't think they'd get all picky about me using Les Miserables music, and yet you would be wrong.
Yes. Yeah, it's I don't understand the logic behind some of the decisions artists make on their content. It's very bizarre, but you'd think it'd just be a free for all. Enjoy it, go for it. As long as you're not making money, get it out there because more people listen to it. Hey, what was that song? What was that video? What was that clip? Right, and then you bring in more fans. But,
exactly.
So going back to your campaign, Tom, I can scroll for you if there's anything you want me to stop at or anything.
I would say we just saw the trailer. I would say definitely scroll down to show Graham's cover and Peter's covers.
Okay.
There are two available versions of this book. There is the full color Grindhouse edition with a fantastically bold, lurid 1968 zombie movie from Italy cover from Graham Nolan.
Yeah,
and I mean, this is the full color version, so it's going to feel very Grindhouse. Lots of sepia, lots of washed out colors. It's just really, really evocative of those movies. And then we have the black and white line art edition, what I call the Till Death Do Us Part version, with a very cheeky cover from our own Peter Gilmore, who did a nice tribute cover that I had to say, okay, hear me out. I want it to be a send up of the 1973 buddy cop movie Freebie and the Beans, starring James Caan and Alan Arkin. Trust me, it's gonna work.
Wild.
And he just did this wonderfully cheeky piece.
So good.
So yeah, there's this is my first time ever doing anything. So it's a very no frills campaign. There's only 3 perks. There's the Grindhouse edition, the Till Death Do Us Part edition, and then the Get 'em Both edition. Or Get 'em Both perk, I mean.
So is this your first foray into sequential storytelling? Like to creating it?
Yeah. I tried my hand at a lot of film scripts and play scripts right around the time I was having this idea. I like to say I started like 75 or 80 different scripts that all kind of withered on the vine. This is the idea that has stuck with me since 1994, and I can't even begin to say what it's like to see these images that have been in my head for 30 friggin' years, to see them on the page, and to see, because in your head you're like, you see it at the angle you see it in your head, and then to see what Christian does with the angle, like, that's so much better than what I had in my head. It's absolute magic. Absolute magic.
You're on the right track. Sorry. You're on the right track when the artist is giving you pages that look better than how you imagined it.
100%.
Yes. What were we going to say, Jason?
Help me out again. Who's the colorist? Because the colorist is doing a fantastic job here.
It's all Christian. He's one-stop shopping right at your fingertips.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Wow.
Yep. He is just a wizard, man.
And then you also avoid, like I had to deal with a little bit of this. Conflict or clash between the artist and the colorist.
Oh yeah.
With the comic book, if you've got a whole team, it just takes one person in that team that's a little out of sync with everybody. It can detract.
We call that the Vinnie Colleticers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good name.
Oh, those are beautiful pages.
Yep. And then, one thing I've been saying a lot is that Christian is very lyrical and very cinematic with his work. So, just, the image of the sun just slowly setting below the horizon. And as soon as it does, that's when the party begins. And the next panel down at the bottom of the page, like mushrooms overnight, they just pop out of each doorway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really sets the scene.
Stunning. Yeah. And I've said this a million times, but I've got to keep coming back to it, it didn't occur to me when I was writing it, just how big a chunk of the piece is at night, definitionally, obviously, vampires and stuff. And to see Christian work this kind of magic and this kind of palette with night colors, and it's still vibrant, even though it's all shades of night colors. It's just really something to see.
Yeah, you're not just turning in black pages with lettering.
Right.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Beautiful.
Too soon. But yeah, this piece, it's a little bit like Total Recall in that, once it begins, it just doesn't stop till the end.
But yeah, no, that definitely inspires me, because I am at a point with one of my characters where he's going to have like a black costume on a black throne. And I'm like, how am I going to do this without it? But you are showing me it can be done.
Absolutely. And I'm not showing you, Christian's showing you, because he's the wizard. I just described it.
Yeah.
A town at night.
So your man with no name. What's his story, and how does he end up in this town?
Well, he does have a name. His name's Sawyer Bain, and he is a former bounty hunter who, prior to the beginning of the book, on his last job, and we'll see it in flashback, on his last job, something really terrible happened. And it caused him to, two things came out of it. One, he decided to put down the guns. And two, it was that inciting event that led him to meet the woman who would become his wife. So he's given up the life of the gun. He's taken to a life of joined to this woman. He's taken up a life of faith, a life of the farm. He wants to grow instead of kill. And then one really bad, crazy night, a fellow named Carlos Gilberto shows up. And before the evening's over, he's unconscious. He wakes up. Carlos Gilberto is gone. His wife is gone. So he's got to pick up the guns again. He's got to use his skills as a tracker. And he tracks her all the way to a town called Half a Rock Hill. And here's the worst kept secret in independent comics. It's a town full of vampires. I tried to get cute in the campaign page. Oh, it's a town that's kind of dead by day, but it really comes alive. But they're vampires. Well, what am I pussyfooting around? It's right there in the cover. And so this guy who has really no context or prior knowledge of what a vampire even is has to figure out on the fly and figure out a way to survive.
Nice.
Oh, those pages. I'm so excited for this book.
Yeah. Yeah, you had some sample art when you were here for the stand-up tour, but the trailer is just amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean the trailer we were talking earlier about. The trailer tells you everything you need to know. I mean, it gives you the mood of the piece. It gives you the arc. You get a sense. The trailer only goes so far because you don't get a sense of how it's going to resolve itself. But this is clearly a guy who is used to being in command of his situation and command of his environment, thrust into a situation he has no context for even how to combat, let alone how to prevail.
Nice. So 44 pages. It's going
to be 48-page book, but 44 pages of story. Okay. And then I am putting together 4 really nice pieces of art for the back of the book.
Cool.
Nice. So you said this is the Graham Nolan cover here, $25, the Grindhouse edition. That's the color version?
That's the color version.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great cover.
So there you go. And that one. And then this one here's the...
That's the black and white line art edition with a cover by Peter Gilmore. And then I should also say that letters by Eric Weathers. Vaughn did both the trailer and that great logo. And then I'm putting together some art in the back with Dan Lawless, Vasilis, and Peter Gilmore again.
Oh, wow. And I imagine you have a tier where you can grab both books.
That's correct. I call it the Marianne versus Ginger tier. Never choose. Never. To choose is to forego. Never forego.
Yeah, that's your second popular tier. Yeah, it was the same thing with my campaign. I did that too when I first came out with Soltak. I put it out in black and white as well. And yeah, it did very well putting
I got one of your black and white editions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the way to go. Okay, I think I got a game plan.
Yep.
Yeah,
well,
I wish I had that. I wish I had that artwork. I could throw that in the background.
Oh, crap. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I have it. No, it's my fault. I have it.
Okay.
And I should.
Well, then screw you, buddy.
Yeah, it's my fault. Jason, if you wanna give me some time so I can.
Yeah, no problem.
Boomer this a little bit.
So Tom, your character. Do you anticipate you have other tales to tell with this character?
Absolutely. In fact, of the 4 pieces of art in the back of the book, the Peter Gilmore piece will tease book number 2.
Okay.
And the Vasilis piece will tease book number 3.
Nice. In terms of a timeline, when is this gonna? It sounds like the book's done. Am I correct?
Yep. Well, okay. Almost done.
Almost done?
The first half of the book, the first 22 pages, are in the can.
Okay.
Of the second half, we've got inks and colors up through page 41. So Christian's got 3 more pages to turn in. Then the second half goes to Eric to have it lettered, and then the book is essentially done. It's ready to go to the printer once I get the back of the book artwork in.
Nice.
And I've got to talk to somebody, and this is me not knowing what I'm doing, about like a title page and a dedication page.
Sure. Now you've been blitzing this book. You're at $5,000 after 7 days.
Everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, everybody. As you've been making the rounds, doing the tour, what's been some of the fun shows you've been you've been on? Where have you had fun? How's it been going on the campaign?
They've all been a blast. Obviously, you guys were the first show I ever streamed on, so you're always going to have a
We
special
popped your
place in my
cherry.
heart. Yeah,
Yep.
I popped my. Hey, he popped his cherry, like Goodfellas. Then we went on our own shows where we launched it 2 weeks ago. I was on a show Sunday, the Sunday after launch, and for the life of me, it's too late in the day and my brain's too fried, and I'm too Joe Biden-y. But that show was a lot of fun because we all watched an episode of Matt Houston.
I'm drawing a blank. What is it?
Matt Houston is a great, and you can bring up the opening credits because that's what we showed the trailer for my book, and we were got into a discussion about how music can make or break a trailer, and or the theme to a TV show, and I said, well, the greatest theme song of all time is Matt Houston. A lot of people, the unwashed, will tell you that the greatest theme song of all time is Hawaii 5-0, and they're close. Hawaii 5-0 is second. Matt Houston is number one, and I showed them the Matt Houston opening credits, and they liked they're like, this whacked out old man is onto something. This is a great set of credits. And they liked it so much we watched the whole episode. So that was fun. Obviously, I went on Pimp My Comic. Obviously, that was a complete blast. Shane and Mandy, it's like this Donnie and Marie dynamic that is a lot of fun. And then it was two of us on the Pimp My. Two of us were pimping, and it was me and Vasilis. And if there's more of a friggin' unbelievably fun train ride than being on a stream with Bacillus. I don't know what it's like being on a train that's on fire, that's like shooting off into space and going through the sun while it happens. It's just this amazing, like, fireworks light show of beautiful madness.
Brings the energy.
I was going. I got to say, Katie did. She really spent a lot of time with me in this book. I think we were on that for like 4.5 or 5 hours.
Wow.
So definite hat tip to Katie did. And then I was on a back-to-back set of shows, Apex Comics, and then Len Lurks, and they were both real fun group of guys. So yeah, it's literally like I don't want to jinx it. But I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop because like nothing about this journey has sucked. And I know something's gonna suck. I was married a total of 17 years total, and I know that it's not all the way it is when you take your vows. It sucks later, but so far nothing sucks. So I'm still in that honeymoon phase.
Well, I have a pet theory when it comes to the people that are doing what we're doing and the people that are doing shows like Craig and I are doing. And my theory is that you're not going to keep doing it unless you're having fun.
100%.
And so just in terms of like longevity, longevity is going to breed a healthy, fun environment, right? Because the toxic environment, the dysfunctional environment, it's going to burn out, right? So it's good to hear that you're having a good time.
I'm 55 years old. If it's not fun, there's literally no point to anything.
There you go.
There you
go. But when I think about the shows that when I was touring the first Jupiter, I in my mind's eye, I'm thinking like probably half those shows have probably pod faded, and then in their place there are probably a bunch of new shows. So I'm looking forward to getting out there and touring again. So it's good to hear that you're finding a good reception and that you're having fun, and it's great to see.
You Gen Z kids and your newfangled slang, pod faded. What is this pod faded of which you speak? It sounds sus. It sounds very sus.
Let me teach you, old man. So let me mansplain it to you.
Please do.
So pod fade is when you find a podcast or a show or whatever, and you get into it, and then you find out that they just stopped doing it, and you're like, and one of the, if there was one show that I could resurrect, it's an audio podcast called Comic Slobs, and these guys did like 5 years. And they were hilarious. And I started listening to them about 5 years ago. It was during, I didn't know they were going to pod fade. And I can't find their social. Like, I don't know. it's like they all disappear. I at some point I may have to hunt them down because there was 4 guys. It was comic slobs. They were the most naturally funny guys, and they're the funniest voices. So pod fade is when you find you're mining through podcasts, you strike gold, you're into it, and suddenly they stop doing the show.
Now,
So
I'm familiar with that dynamic because there's an ASMR artist that I used to follow that kind of peered off, and I liked her because she had this recurring character where she was your psycho ex-girlfriend who was stalking her, and that is like kind of like my wheelhouse. I'm very used to that dynamic.
it scratches your itch, yes.
Yeah,
Feels like home.
I just posted today that I had one text me while I was in the hospital to say, please text me back, Thomas, and don't hand me another cock and bull story about being under anesthesia for your orthoscopy. So I'm very familiar with that. And this artist that I like, he did one bit where your ex has broken into your room and drugged you and tied you to a chair, and she's got a hot plate, and she's slicing pieces off of your legs and cooking them on the hot plate. And that took me back to the night I proposed. My second ex, so very nostalgic charm, and then you go to see the next one, and she's not there anymore. And I'm like, I feel so let down by my psycho ex-girlfriend ASMR artist.
So what you're saying is your tombstone gonna say, "Here lies Tom Tuttle. He thought it was love."
Well, hence the the freebie and the bean thing with Peter Gilmore stuff. Above all, my life is a love story.
There you go.
So.
Brilliant.
All right, so it's we're in the home stretch to the bottom of the hour.
Right.
And we had 29 people watching live. Usually the show has about 100 viewers after Craig posts it, or so forth. If you back the book, please tag Tom, let him know you backed it. Tell him you saw him on the Friday nights. Yep. And Craig, are we ready to look and see where we're at in terms of where we got here?
So we started with a baseline of
128.
128. So we got 2 backers, 2 extra.
Nice.
Backers.
Thank you.
That's pretty good considering that Walt Disney struck your channel. That's pretty good.
So we kind of beat the mouse tonight with these 2 backers.
We did.
That's right.
Take that, mouse.
That's wild.
Love it.
2 weeks. Wow. Congratulations.
It's been what a ride, man. What a ride.
I'm looking forward to reading this one. This one looks really good.
We've got a whale of a tale to tell you, brother.
So I guess we're winding down. We also did, I know we're only an hour in, but we also lost that half hour having to bring the stream back. I'll give the opportunity if anyone in the chat has anything they want to ask Tom about 7 amens before sundown. And then, Tom, is there anything else you want to add or
well, I'm going to take a slam at Disney for a second, because I was watching that trailer, or not the trailer, but the thing with the song and the tweets. And I know everyone's been talking about Snow White a lot this week, and for all the obvious reasons. And I'm not going to get into that, but because I think it's been gone over. But the thing that I took away from that's the most footage of the movie that I've seen. Okay, and I was struck by how soulless all these live action remakes are. I mean, they don't have any of the. I know the classic cartoons by heart because we were only allowed to watch 2 things in my house growing up: The Wonderful World of Disney on Sunday nights and variety shows. So I know like all the classic cartoons by heart, and like Robin Hood with the kind of laconic, kind of lackadaisical music, and just the magic. I mean, of Snow White, the first Disney animation, the movie that built the mouse.
Yep.
And all these live actions. I'm not even getting into the whole woke this or Rachel Ziegler that. I'm just saying, all these animations, they feel like soulless automatons. I feel like first they're all interchangeable. The live action Lion King, the live action this, the live action Little Mermaid, they're all interchangeable, the same energy. It's like watching like 12 Michael Bay movies back to back. It doesn't matter what they're about; they all feel the same. And then what I was really reminded of as I'm watching it, it felt like I was down at one of the parks, and this was the the college kids putting on the thing that gets me ready for the ride.
Mm.
And they've done the same show. They've done the same animatronic parade or the same what is it called at Epcot? Illuminations over and over and over. It's by rote. There's no joy. There's no magic. There's no love. So, I'm kind of kicking Snow White because Disney screwed with my stream tonight on Friday night. But I'm really just it's not even like a Snow White specific complaint I have. I just don't see the point of live action remakes of these charming classic movies into these soulless, charm-free automatons.
Well,
that's my take.
I'm hoping Disney has figured that out as well, because I don't know who replaced the current president, but they did say after this latest movie that they definitely need to change course. They're claiming that I think they finally seen the light after this one. So.
Yeah. I mean, they were making classic musical animated movies up through the mid 90s.
Yes.
So there are a wealth of properties out there to make new things to capture the imagination of a new generation. This again, I'm talking about the entire idea of the live action remake in general. It's just hollow.
Right.
It just I don't feel any I didn't feel any emotion whatsoever watching, and I understand that was just a scene from a musical number.
Yeah. But
I didn't feel anything. I just felt like it was like watching a picture of fun.
Right.
Like that pipe painting where it says this is not a pipe, and it's true. It's not a pipe, it's a picture of a pipe. This is not fun, it's the picture of fun.
Yep. Very much so. That's been the sentiment for that movie as well. People like the whole magic, the whole mystique, the whole relationship with the dwarves. They got rid of all of it.
That dwarf that we saw do this thing, that was terrifying. If I was a child, I'd be more scarred by that than my own childhood.
What I think would be more interesting and entertaining is a docudrama or a documentary about this movie and the behind the scenes and the Peter Dinklage putting his little small foot down about hiring dwarves. Yeah. And then when they had the Renfest Antifa people and Zegler, I think that would be infinitely more entertaining.
Well, talk about a movie being like Harrison Bergeron and coming out of the front gate with weights tied around your ankle.
Yeah, that's right.
Holy cow! I don't think The Room had as cursed a production as this movie did.
I'm scared to think that behind the scenes footage might actually do better than the movie itself.
Well, I think I've just come up with the solution. We need to get the next time there's a live action Disney. We need to get Tommy Wiseau in at the helm to shepherd them through the creative process.
That's right.
Just got a lot of framed pictures of spoons.
But I was going to say, I fell asleep during one of Tom Cruise's newest movies. And when I woke up, it jumped to another one. And I didn't even know that it was two different movies.
Which one did you sleep through?
Well, the Mission Impossible. Are you confusing the Mission Impossibles? Because that's easy.
It's the one where, it's the first movie I was watching is the one where he's like on a planet and it's his job to make sure that
Oblivion.
The terraform. Yeah. Yep. And then I woke up during the Egyptian one, The Mummy Returns.
The Mummy's not great.
I thought I was watching the same movie. I didn't even know the movie had changed.
Well, and the reason you thought it was the same movie is because he's running in every movie. He's the running man. So you fell asleep to Tom Cruise running on a planet, and you woke up to him running in Egypt, but you didn't know.
That's right.
Motherfucker ran all the way home.
Oh, it's hilarious.
But I want to say there was another movie he did around the time of Oblivion that was kind of the same. Wasn't there something that was
Minority Report? Is that what you're thinking of?
No, it was
Ready, Set, or whatever, the one where he's time traveling.
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow. I loved Edge of Tomorrow. That was a great movie.
Yeah, that was good. That was
good.
Yep. So I mean,
now the mission. I'll tell you this: the what did I just say? The Minority Report.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I just got this Oculus headset for Christmas, and when I say Christmas, I mean I bought it for myself because I'm a father, so I've been buying my own gifts for 10 years. But when you have that Oculus headset, it's like being in Minority Report because it's synced up to my hands, so I don't have controllers. I'm watching a YouTube video, I just slide it out of the way, bring another one up. It's like I'm planning the takeover of the world. You know, I'm the evil genius. Ooh.
Do you get claustrophobic and need to take it out to make sure that everything around you is okay? Put it back on, or
well, sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
it's heavy. I think that the tech is still in its infancy. Like when they can hone it down to where it's just goggles or glasses, I think it'll be, because it is kind of like heavy on your face. And plus, people can murder you while you're watching YouTube.
That's the part that worries me. Like,
yeah.
Who knows what's happening around me?
Like if you ever watched an 80s slasher movie, you know exactly what's happening while you've got the headset on.
That's right.
You can see the point of view camera just creeping up on you. Like the guy who's behind me right now.
So speaking of movies, I do want to make a movie recommendation. Trap by M. Night Shyamalan.
Is it good? I want to see it.
No, it is good. It is good. It's legit good. It's legit good. Yeah.
I saw it. I kind of disagree, but
no, you just.
I say the first half.
I took the boys last summer to see Twisters, and that was a trailer in front of, and I was like, this premise sold me. It's a great premise.
But I will say, Trap was fun. It was fun, but halfway through, you could tell that there's all kinds of, and even M. Night Shyamalan admitted it. Sorry to jump back into that.
Mm-hmm.
He even admitted, when he was filming it, he would put himself in situations, and rather than having a script written, he would be, okay, how am I going to get out of this situation? And he put himself in another situation. Okay, how am I going to get out of this? I think he should have just had a done storyboard instead of trying to be fancy with his directing. Because in my opinion, that's kind of where it falls off.
Well, I'll tell you what, everyone's kind of pouring cold water on me watching Trap now.
I enjoyed it, and the other one I did. The other one I enjoyed was Don't Move.
I haven't seen that one.
I think I recommend it. So yeah, when you go on your closeout tour, or when you come in for your second book, we can compare notes.
Yeah. I just watched Gator with Burt Reynolds and Jerry Reed, which is not a satisfying sequel to the far superior White Lightning.
Did you catch?
Is it a Sharky's Machine?
I had not done Sharky's Machine recently. You asked me something, I didn't hear you.
Were you asking a question? No, I just mentioned Jason. Jason also said he wasn't fond of Trap. I mentioned that in the comments.
It's okay.
As well.
Okay.
Well, how does he feel about Sharky's Machine? Wait, how do you feel about Best Friends starring Burt Reynolds and that delightful Goldie Hawn?
That's a classic. I haven't seen that in holy smokes.
What's the Burt Reynolds movie where he's dying?
Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
No. There's always
of the end.
These terminal ill. Yeah, God.
And Dom DeLuise is going to help him kill himself.
Yeah. Oh man, there was those guys. Those guys. Say what you will about those movies. Those guys were having fun.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, come on, that's a classic, brother. That is a classic.
Smokey holds up. You what
Cannonball Run. I can do this all day.
You've put me in the mood for a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper.
Yes. What if I had the budget? I would do a mashup of Death Race 2000 and Smokey and the Bandit.
Ooh, I think that is Cannonball Run. I think there's your mashup.
There you go. Oh, Philbo Baggins is here.
Nice. Sharky's Machine.
All right.
Yeah, is that
Sharky's Machine is badass.
Who's in it?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
That's all we're talking about tonight.
Burt Reynolds. This is the Burt Reynolds.
It's
show.
the Ides of Burt. They're upon us.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
The poor man's Marlon Brando. Come on.
You can skip Rent-A-Cop with Burt Reynolds and Liza Minnelli. You can just pass over that one. That's the one where Burt Reynolds becomes madly in love with Liza Minnelli.
Kids, before there was Evening Shade, there was a film career for Burt Reynolds, and there were some gems in there. He basically, Burt Reynolds would try anything. He was the trisexual actor. He would try anything, and there were some gems, and there's some coal in there. But
yes,
but
that's very fair to say. Very fair to say.
Oh man! All right.
You want to throw the trailer up again or anything?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer. We got 33 people watching live.
Let's watch the trailer. I'm sorry, I didn't go. Let's do the trailer, and then before we end, let's go to YouTube for a second and watch the Matt Houston opening credits.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here's the trailer again for 7 Amens before sundown.
I love that metal on metal clink.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
That whole train sort of gathering momentum, going down the track. Yeah,
Yep.
you definitely feel it.
I have the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly soundtrack on my MP3 player at work. So sometimes when I'm like to get in the zone, I'll listen to that soundtrack. Just
the ecstasy of gold, man.
Oh yeah,
I love that song. I love that scene.
What am I looking up on YouTube, Tom?
Oh, Matt Houston theme, MATT, and then Houston, like the city.
And I won't get struck because I've already got my.
Well, the other, I was thinking about that while we were. Maybe we shouldn't because you already did have one go round.
Yeah,
the other guys got off okay, but they're not monetized.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not monetized either. But I mean, I've got 7 days, but yeah, I'll risk it. I don't care. I'm a rebel.
It's Matt Houston. Take the risk.
All right.
Jason, I'm telling you, you're gonna see this theme song, and you're gonna prioritize watching Matt Houston over everything else in your life.
All right. Is this like a Rockford Files type show? Is it a canon? What kind of show is this?
It is kind of Bruce Wayne meets Jim Rockford. It's a guy who's rich and bored, and he's a little good at just about everything. And as a hobby, he gets involved in mysteries.
How did I miss this? All right, this is good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Let's check this out.
Bring this up right now. I had to get through the mandatory commercial that comes with it. All right, let me see if I got this queued up. All right, it's on the screen. We don't need it full screen, do we? No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Better cock your pistols.
It's just another version of the theme.
I've done that.
Who hasn't? Against the ladies. And there's Buddy Ebsen out of nowhere.
Season 2.
The obligatory North by Northwest ripoff.
Yeah.
Now, what I like about it.
Yep. Hold on.
You,
Sorry, you're saying?
you want to talk diversity and inclusion. Okay, here's this rich Bruce Wayne guy, and then all of a sudden it's the credits to the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, who are these hayseeds? And right when your mind is catching up with the hayseeds, in comes Mama fucking Celeste with the big bowl of pasta. And then off the top rope, here comes Buddy Ebsen.
I assume these are all his like what do you call it? Human tech or human intelligence assets.
It's more diverse than that bus in Speed. That bus in Speed had everyone except an Eskimo in the back, holding a spear and a fish he just caught. Every single possible demographic is in Matt Houston. The one that I watched on that other show was an episode where Matt Houston fights robots.
So
what robots look like Roombas with legs.
What year did this come out and how many seasons? Because I completely missed this somehow.
It's 80s. I'm going to say like...
This can't be 80s.
Yeah,
this has to be late 70s.
I'm going to say 84. I'm saying 84.
No, it can't be. It can't be.
I'm going to say it's post 79. It's got to be post 79.
All right. We may have to
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up.
So the chat's asking questions. Hold on. So one question brought up here.
But see, this is what I shouldn't have done because there's always more questions about Matt Houston than there are about my book.
So Phil was asking,
should we try to license this IP?
Well, I'll tell you right now, that song is never not on my internal soundtrack.
Okay.
Not even for a minute. Not even during intimacy. All
right. JD Kirby says 82. I don't
82.
know.
All right.
82.
I was close.
And how many seasons?
At least 3.
Okay. So I think
3 versions of the theme song.
So my working theory is they saw Magnum PI and they saw the Dukes of Hazzard and they said we're gonna kind of get somewhere.
And also Dallas.
Yeah.
Like the setting and the being rich is very much Dallas.
Yeah.
The local yokels come out of Dukes of Hazzard. And then I want to say Mama Celeste comes out of Angie. Remember that show, Angie, with Donna Pescow and Robert Hayes? He was like a rich Philadelphia. It was a meet cute. He was a rich Philadelphia doctor, and she was like the daughter of a pizza shop owner.
It had 3 seasons. It ran 82 to 85. There you go.
So it was one in 84. Like I said. Did someone throw? We should put chaps on.
Throw some chips in there.
Oh,
California Highway Patrol, the chips.
Oh yeah.
This is bringing back my childhood.
And both of the guys from Chips are available on Cameo.
That's right.
You can get Larry Wilcox for dirt cheap.
One of my favorite clips of all time is when you got the Deanna Troi to do the well wishing to those 4 merry prankster coworkers. It was the Jack Show people.
I did that.
I think you did. Yeah, I think you did. I swear it was. It was.
Well, I got the Shining twins to say hi to the Ballers. I got the Shining twins to say hi to the Ballers. I got from the Bud Light.
So many good ones. Yeah,
Dylan Mulvaney for Shane. I got Chuck Norris for John Malin.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it
Whoa,
would have been
that's
it
spendy,
would have
right?
been so great if Chuck Norris could have just pronounced John Malin's name correctly. Because the joke that I wrote was great. I had Chuck Norris say, everybody tells Chuck Norris jokes, but behind closed doors, I tell John Malin jokes. That was a great gag, and Chuck Norris screwed the dismount by not pronouncing John Malin's name correctly.
Call him Malin or something.
Malin, yeah.
Dude, I swear you did. I swear you did a cameo with the actress from Star Trek Next Generation, Deanna Troi, where she's wishing maybe it was one of the Jack Show anniversaries or something like that. But you basically say congratulations to John and Anna and Kelsey and on your 1 year of working together and all the fun you have and stuff like that.
I mean, I'll take credit for it, but I think it's somebody else. I think somebody else got that one.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I think in terms of doing those and I think you were a trailblazer on that. So.
Well, I appreciate it. Hey, I'm an old autograph show hound. I used to love to go to autograph shows, and they kind of faded out. Not permanently, but they faded out during the COVID thing.
Yeah.
They're back now, but one thing I picked up during the COVID years was you can almost get a more meaningful exchange through Cameo or something like that. I once asked when I'm getting them for myself, I like to ask, what is the secret of a life well lived? Because I'm 55. It's a question that I'm asking myself. And it's such a personal question that you usually can get some good stuff from the guy. I got 7 minutes from John Cleese giving me his theories of the afterlife.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'll put it up sometime if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, come. That will be the teaser for your next campaign. You'll debut that on the Friday night.
John Cleese's Meaning of Life.
Yes, absolutely.
The one thing, Jason says, the one thing he picked up from COVID was COVID. Yeah. Didn't we all?
Deadpan. All right. So we got 31 people watching live. There's usually 100 people who watch the replay. If you back Tom's book, please tag him on Twitter. Let him know you saw him on the Friday nights. And go follow him on Twitter. He's a great follow. We will see you next week here on the show. Thank you for hanging out with us, kicking off your weekend with us. We are always honored to have people join us for some laughs, some merriment, and to start the weekend in style. So thank you. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with the Friday nights.
Hey, Tom, now that you have your own show, do you want to throw a plug in there?
Absolutely, yeah. Everyone should watch Friday Night Frights on Fridays. It does not overlap with this show at all. We start at 7 Eastern on Fridays, and that's like a whole different thing on Central and a whole different thing. I'm only now learning time zones.
Yep.
But this is 7 p.m. Eastern. It's a great show. We talk about a different genre of horror movies every week. It's on Peter Gilmore's channel. It's Peter, CG Pete, 6x6, and Harry Talbot, and me, America's Sweetheart, Tom Tuttle. We just did a show earlier tonight where our topic was cannibals and mutants. So it's fun for the whole family.
Very nice.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've done, I think, 4 episodes now, and it is a howlingly good time.
Very cool. Yeah, Hojo checking in says, yo.
Hey, Hojo.
That was Hojo doing a drive-by in the Mythos machine. Mythos number 3 is off to the printers. I think we're all looking forward to getting that in our hands.
I'm also a backer of that.
All right. Craig,
Yes.
aside from lessons learned with taunting Disney, any parting thoughts for tonight?
Other than I'm just excited for this year. I'm excited for summer to come. There's so many great titles. There's so many great books. Like we had Jason there. Frog G2 is coming. Is this book going to be in backers' hands this year as well? This year.
Well, the target date that I put, because I wanted to give myself plenty of wiggle room, so that that I knew that I could get it done, was Valentine's Day 2026.
Okay.
I feel very confident based on what I was talking about earlier with where we are in the book. I feel very confident in being able to beat that deadline by a long shot. But I don't want to say any. I don't want to make any more assertions than that in case I'm wrong or in case there's something I'm not thinking of.
Right. But like I said, there are so many incredible books coming. I'm excited for. I'm just excited for this summer. I just got to get through this bit of a tariff war thing. But yeah,
it's actually nice down here, man. I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah. It's where I chose to live. So
that's fair.
As Craig says, it keeps the riffraff out. Those cold
right.
winters.
That's right. Nobody's stealing my car or breaking into my house.
That's fair.
All right. I'll throw the outro on. Pray I don't get taken down again. But 32 watching, tuning into us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much again for joining us, Tom. Spending some time hanging out with the Friday night. Yeah. And yep, back Jupiter still available. Back 7 amens before sundown. The book is rocking. It looks absolutely amazing. And on that note, have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
This library will soon need a passport to enter. Stansted is a small town in the eastern townships, and there's a library that sits right on the border between Canada and the United States. There's even a strip of black tape inside marking the two countries. Now, the main entrance of the library is on the American side, but for decades, Canadians were able to access it, well, not anymore. U.S. officials decided to close the access on the Canadian side because of what they say is illicit cross-border activity. The mayor of Stansted says, well, this decision doesn't make sense. Now, you have to understand the library means a lot to this town. It's a symbol of the deep relationship between Canadians and Americans in the area.
That somehow the law doesn't apply to you? That you're above the law?
Certainly not.
Well, let me tell you something funny. You know that little stamp? The one that says New York Public Library? Well, that may not mean anything to you, but that means a lot to me. One whole hell of a lot. Well, let me give you a hint, Junior. Maybe we can live without libraries, people like you and me. Maybe. Sure, we're too old to change the world. But what about that kid sitting down, opening a book right now in a branch of the local library? Look, if you think this is about overdue fines and missing books, you better think again.
Klaatu, Miranda. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
It's cold.
All right. You're never gonna guess where I'm gonna take you to lunch.
Santo taco.
Oh, you freaking guessed it.
Yes.
You freaking guessed it. We're gonna go.
A content creator in England forked out £265, which equates to about $340 on a single cup of coffee, then shared his true feelings about it on social media. Carmi Salito was in London when he stumbled upon a luxury coffee shop, as news agency SWNS reported. Salito expected an expensive cup, but was stunned when he spotted Japan Typica Natural Coffee on the menu for a staggering £265, which came out to about $343 and change. Made from Typica beans, a Japanese variety of Arabic beans, the drink is thought to be one of Britain's most expensive coffee drinks, as WNS reported. Salito ordered the drink despite its hefty price. He said that in the end, he couldn't tell the difference between his expensive brew and his French 4-pound iced latte. The waiter even made a joke saying, "Make sure you don't mix them up," and started laughing. By the time he had finished it, Salito said he was really disappointed in the whole experience.
Don't be a hoarder. Don't be... It has potential. 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 I'll use it. I know I'll use it.
I have built my own instrument. It is a working rock band guitar. It is fucking sweet. I'll all of these buttons are from like 6 different Rock Band guitars. You got the little toggle switch. This turns the note on, and it rings out for as long as you want, and then you just turn it off. Boom. I have 2 kill switches because the wiring is all fucked. You don't need to know about that. But it also works down here. You can even do bagpipes. Look at this.
Aristotle, when he treats time in the physics, starts with a riddle that he never answers that goes something like this. Think about time as divided into the past, the present, and the future. And then think for a while about what the present is. How thick is the present? The present is just a limit between the past and the future. And then you get the paradox. Because the past is something that does not exist. It has existed, but it does not exist any longer. The future is something that does not exist. It will exist, but it doesn't exist. And the present is nothing. So time seems to be a nothing dividing something non-existent from something non-existent.
Hey, how are you? Good, thank you.
Hey, you're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I've been in the business 36 years, and
really appreciate that.
I'll tell you now, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, United Technologies, I worked for all 3 for more than 10 years. It's the best company I've ever worked for.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to tell me that.
I will. This will be my last job.
All right.
I don't have to look anymore.
Thank you. That's so nice.
That's always good to hear.
What a sweet thing to say.
That's all. And now I'll slip him the 20 on the way out.
I know. I didn't even tip him. I mean, that's...
Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Pave the way, put your back into it. Tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now. Zuckerberg and Gates and Buffett, amateurs can fucking suck it. Fuck